Hello, this is your handover video for the Auto Roller 746 and my name's Catherine and I'm going to try and show you some of the key features of the motorhome. I will do a handover in person with you as well, but this sometimes just helps get everybody get to grips with what's in the vans. I won't cover everything in this video, but I'm going to try and cover some of the key things for you, starting on the outside and then we'll work inside. So the first thing we're going to quickly look at is under the bonnet. So to get into the bonnet itself, there's a key here. You use ignition key, you put the key in here, you turn to the left, then you turn to the right, and that releases the bonnet just enough that you can lift it up. And under here you've got your windscreen washer fluids, your brake fluids, your oil dipsticks down there, you've got your engine coolant over here, and should you ever need to jump start the motorhome, you've got a positive connection there for your battery terminal there. And if you look down here, it just shows you on here, I think the negative, and I think it might be a little screw that's just in here, but please do double check that in the books. We always recommend try not to jump start any motorhomes using cables from another car. Always try and use a proper jump start battery pack, else you can damage the engine modules, the control modules. Should you ever need to get a tow, the towing eye is in the garage locker in this van. There's, you pop this piece out here and it'll have a towing eye that you screw into there. Hopefully that makes sense on this one here. Filling up with diesel, just coming up on this side here. You have to open the door to get the flap open, and we can open this one here. You've got your diesel filler point there, and you've got your AdBlue top up there. When you need AdBlue, it will tell you on the van and it will make you fill it up before, otherwise if you don't fill it up before the engine stops, when it warns you that it's running out, it can prevent the engine from restarting. So AdBlue just helps with make it more environmentally friendly. Just coming around on the rest of the van at the front side of it, your wing mirrors on the sides here, you've got electronic adjusters here, and you've got lights cluster on the right hand side, rear fog light. Coming up into the main section here, yes, there is steering wheel controls you can play with on here. The controls on here, only the lights on here in the center only come on when you've either got it right to the max on aircon or right to the max on the windscreen, otherwise the lights don't come on. But this has got air conditioning, internal circulation, power controls, fan speed. This one, if it doesn't come on, push this button here, that comes on. As soon as you go into reverse, which is a squeeze up to get across, the reversing camera comes on. So that's really excellent. It's all together. You have got a bit of a 12-volt socket here for charging devices. You've also got a 12-volt socket up here. This could be, in some vans I have seen this active as a 12-volt USB as well if you wanted that connected up, but you don't have to. Okay, and just one other thing on kind of the real driving side of it before we start to cover the internal motorhoming bits is this handbrake here catches people out. So this handbrake is loose, this handbrake is on, so people mustn't drive with it like this. So to release the handbrake, lift it up, push the thing in and lift up fully, and now the handbrake will come down, you'll feel it come off. And then to put it back on again, lift it all the way up and then it drops down, and this drops down so that you can spin the seats without catching it. But that will trick some people into thinking the handbrake is off. Just be warned, especially if it goes to a garage. You've got lots of seat adjusters here at the sides to make it comfortable. So just have a play and just get comfy before you drive anywhere. Okay, so that's probably kind of the critical bits at the front end. I always say to everybody is just once you start using a motorhome, just learn the basics of how to get it into gear, how to release the handbrake and drive, and then get the actual engine booklets out from Ford, which are in the front dash. Actually, there's booklets in this glove compartment in here. There's a load of the owner's books. If you get those out, just sit with a cup of tea and just have a little read and have a play with the gadgets and the gazmos once you've had a chance to get used to it. So to look at the blinds itself now, in the cab blinds, you squeeze these little two together in here, this comes out and you gently pop them across and they go together. And then when you bring it back, it clicks back in. This one here, you just going to squeeze these together, release it, gentle, 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 slide it out and it just comes across. And again, that just magnets there. If you ever are fighting these and it's really hard and difficult, you're probably doing something wrong. You just need to be gentle with them and they all come together, and the two in the middle magnet, and you've got the same on the other side over there for the front blinds. So coming along on the outside of the motorhome, this is just a vent for the Truma boiler. So it says Truma. Now this is if you're using the boiler on gas, the exhaust gases will come out of here. And on this particular motorhome, see there's a little block on the inside of the window here. If you've got this window open and you're running the Truma boiler on gas, it will stop the boiler from working because it's a safety feature to stop carbon monoxide coming back up into the motorhome. So just be aware that if you're at the beach for the day and you've turned the boiler on because you wanted hot water, you can't open that window whilst the boiler's running on gas. If you're on electric, it should be fine because it's not going through. Okay, so just to warn you of that one there. Coming down here, this is your water filler point. So to use this, we have got a key that's on your locking key, on your spare key here. You can pop this in and just twist it around and it opens and comes out, and you can lock it and have it on. I've left it just because I'll show you it tomorrow as well when you do your handover. So that's literally, and you've just filled the tank up. Fresh water will come out of here once it overflows, and sometimes if you have water coming from underneath the van as well, don't panic, it's just because there's an overflow pipe. So that's filling the water. This is your grey lever under here. So when the grey is closed normally, it's open just now, and to close it, it's just a case, I can't do it just with one-handed, it's hard, it's just a case of pushing it in and it closes across, and that stops the grey water from coming out. And then to open it, you pull it out and twist it. Okay, so, but it's easier to do it with two hands. This is the toilet cassette up here. So for the toilet cassette, push the buttons in here. This releases the cassette out. Sorry, it's very sunny and shiny today, which is great, but also makes it difficult for filming. So to release this, there's a little blue lever down there. I lifted that up, slide this out, and then use the handles to lift it out. So this is the base cassette. So that should always be nice and clean in there, and keep that ready to go. So on your toilet cassette here, when you're ready to empty the toilet cassette out, you spin this to the side, unscrew this, and just like in a caravan, you tip it up and tip it out. You can push this little button here, it lets a bit of air in, so it kind of lets products flow out through here. And then if you want to give it a really good rinse and a clean out as well, is you slide this back and you can open the lever from here as well. So I always try and keep the cover over though if I'm twisting this open, just so that I don't accidentally get splashback when it's opening. But you can go into there, you can give that a good clean with products, and also you should always put any products that you're putting into when you use the Elson organic or whichever ones you're using, Thetford, the toilet chemicals, always pop them straight into the basin here. You shouldn't really go through the toilet, because what happens is that it can go on the seals and it can perish the seals more quickly. So always put any chemicals directly into the base. Pop this back in, make sure this is all aligned properly and it's all nice and neat, and it can go back in the cupboard. When you're also wheeling this across, there is a lever on the back. So here actually this handle, there's a little handle here, it just pops out, it comes up like this, and then you can wheel it along on the ground as well to go to the toilet disposal points. So always, it goes without saying, empty these only in motorhome service points, or you can also use your home toilet if you need to. Campsites have them, or other places like the facilities. On site here there is a disposal point, and if you go to a website called camper.org.uk, that's campa.org.uk, they actually have a map, a Google map, which shows you waste disposal points around Scotland that you can use and just pay to use them. You don't have to be staying on the campsite to use the waste disposal point. Okay. So to open the hatch there's a locker on the side here as well, a little catch there to hold this open. So your garage locker is in here, and it's very sunny in here, but you have got luggage retaining straps in here. Is a light switches on inside the van. This light comes on, you can turn it on and off. You've also got a plug socket in the rear, and there's also heater exhausts as well that come into here as well. So you've got heating through in here. You've got some extension pieces this side and the far side, which I believe are for the dinette extension, essentially, and you've got an electric hookup cable here as well, which could do with a tidy reel, but it's all in there. So you've got your locker door on this side here. Obviously when I was using that to hold these up, these little catches come out, and that helps hold the lockers up, which is very useful. Carrying on around the back of the motorhome here, you've got a reversing camera up high, which is great, but just bear in mind that it doesn't always cover the rear bumpers. So you'll get a nice line you'll see on the reversing camera at the back of the van, but it doesn't always cover the corners. So just be aware of that when you're reversing. To use the bike rack, it is a 4 bike rack. You've got little clips here and here. Just pop those 2 clips to the side. For that one. and that one on that side, just pop it off to the side. This then comes down. There is straps here. Now they're currently done up so you can't see it, but if you undo those, then this will sit properly flush against it, and these straps come around over the top of here and secure the bike rack down. You've then got lift your bikes up on, and you've got these that go through the wheels, and then you've got the arms that come out and will go through and clamp onto the bikes themselves and hold them on. I would recommend as well, if you have got bikes on the back, is that you use a separate bike lock just to secure your bikes on. If you're not using this, then you can actually use this also. It's a very useful towel rail. Some people use it as, but also it is a case of you can get boxes and things as well for these, which is quite useful. So it goes out, and so you can pop these on here and pop this one on this side here. I'm just lifting it up here and secure it on. Perfect. Right, okay, so we've got the bike rack on the back there. Then coming around up here on the side here, you can see that's all clear there. Again, you've got another locker door in here. If I lift this open on this side here and lift it up, and in here it's just the other side of this, and then actually that's your towing eye there that I pointed out to you earlier on. So again, the hatch comes down and closes in. This is your electric hookup point. If you haven't used these before, then to exit this one, to open it out, is you just use the lever down there, wiggle, 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 and it comes out. And when you're connecting in, always lift the flap up 90 degrees, the flap goes in, it makes the connection, and then nice and firm and secure, and make sure it's all in and connected in. Then the flap just comes down over the top, just a bit of a rain cover. If you ever struggle to get 240 volt power in your van, and again, you won't be able to use any of the 240 volt household sockets in the van unless this cable is connected to the campsite, but just check, plug this in here, and sometimes it's just the campsite bollard, it hasn't been turned on properly, and that's what's preventing the power coming through. Your LPG gas system is in here. Now there is space for a much larger spare bottle at the side of this as well. We put there's one 6 kg calibre bottle the previous owner has left in for you. I do not know how much gas is in here, so it might be worth getting a spare sooner rather than later. I don't know what you're planning on doing, but to open the gas system is you unscrew this all the way up to the top to open it, and then all the way up, and then I always just do quarter of a turn, and then you'll know which way is open and closed. And to close it off is you screw it all the way down, and that stops it. Okay, I'm going to leave it open just for now because I'm going to show you inside on the van. There is a yellow lever here on the test point for the regulator. Please never use that to turn the gas on and off as a quick solution. You can damage the regulator if you use this. It's only for the engineers when they're doing gas pressure testing. They use that. So to turn the gas on and off, your job, always use the connection on the bottle itself. You've also got a gas spanner here, an adjustable one, so if you need to change the bottle, you just unscrew the hose here and it does the opposite way to normal screwing. Okay, so that's your gas locker up there, and that's nice and sensible. And then to move inside the motorhome now, you have got, just watch, there is a door clip on here, but just in high winds, do be aware, sorry, down here, these clips can pop in high winds, so just be careful of the door. You've got a blind on the side on here, that's easy. You've also got a fly screen blind here, not midge proof for Scotland, I'm afraid, but it is a great blind. And then stepping up into the van, you've got a lovely, lovely height in this van. So your cupboards all open, you just tilt them down slightly and they lift up. There is a TV on the side here which comes in, and when it's in and connected, this little lever here holds it back, so I can't do it one-handed, and I will make sure, but when you want to release this, just lift the lever and this slides forward and it comes out, and then you can plug it on the 12 volt, and there's an aerial on this one as well. To use the upper bed, if you're not using the bed, you can lift it up out of the way and have it left up, or you can have it down. The ladder is just there and clips in on the side in here. And if you go under here as well, you've got a mesh, that's just an airflow mesh. But under here, that mesh under there is actually a safety mat. It comes out and clips up and can clip up onto the chains up high. Okay, and then there is spare bedding up there, which is to do with the dinette extension in here. So I think that's fairly straightforward on that. Again, the cupboards in here, just lift them all up and they come down, huge amounts of storage. Now your seats are up here because I've left these so I can show you the water tank. So to fill the fresh water tank, you fill it from the outside, but it is important that once you've drained this down for winter, or when you come back to use this in spring, open this up in here, And when you leave it in the winter, there's 2 bungs in here, and this little bung particularly is the one is that you lift this one up, just pull it up, and it literally comes out, and it's just like a corkscrew bung, a wine bottle bung, and then the water will just drain out the base of this. In the winter, generally leave it open and make sure it's absolutely emptied, and then come the spring, put the bung back in, and then you can screw this in. But again, it's important to make sure that you do put this on nice and firmly, because if you don't put this on firmly and you fill this to max, water will seep out through here and then will overflow inside and flood inside the van. Okay, just a warning on that one. So that's a little hatch there. So we've now filled this up. I would probably leave that. If you're not using the water for a long time, then yes, drain it out and empty it for weeks. But if you're going to use it every couple of weeks, then I would say this water is fine for washing and showering with, and I generally just take a bottle of 5-litre water with us for drinking water. You have got a couple of, there's a USB point under here. This one is broken, this first one, but the second one works fine. And then you've got your plug socket there as well under the table. And then coming across to this one here, just to point this out to you, on the mattress, I think what's happened on here is they've had like a non-slip matting they've used underneath these seats, and it's actually kind of melted in the heat, and that's what's caused these markings. But if I just lift this over and flip it to the other side, because I need to move them out of the way to get under this one for you. So to show you under this seat here, this lifts up, and this is where your boiler is. So this is the Truma combination heating and hot water. You've also got your leisure battery whilst we're under here and just discussing that. But under here is a boiler, and what I want to show you, if I squeeze in under here, is this little blue lever down here. So see this little blue lever? There's a lever here, and there's a button. If I feel down on the side, there's a button as well. If you look on any manuals, you'll see there's a button. So when I want to drain this hot water boiler, which you're going to have to do in the winter, summer it's fine to leave it, but at the first risk of frost, or if it gets below 4 degrees, this should actually pop by itself at 4 degrees. But it's always good practice just to actually drain it out. And to drain it, you just literally push this to the side, that twists, and there's a little button here now that's popped out at the side. To close this, and water now is just pouring out the boiler. To close it, I twist this back and I push the button in, and the button now is smooth and it's flat, and I can just, that's now sealed and stopped any water from draining out from underneath the boiler. Okay, so hopefully that made sense. If you Google it and have a look, there are lots of videos as well that show it in detail for there. So that's the boiler. There's nothing in these drawers of interest. That's just storage drawers, and that's all fine there. I'll come to the fridge in a second. Right, okay, we'll do bathroom first. We'll carry on working down one way and then up the other way. So this is your toilet. So to use the toilet, lift it up here. Always open the hatch before you go to the toilet, and then go to the loo, and then your flush button is at the back here. And oh, you need to make sure you got the pump on. That's a good point. I'll pump this on and I'll just put it through, and I will talk you through it in a second. Unlock, switches, water pump. Okay, we'll just pressurise again where I drain the hot water down. So you press it in here, and then you've got your toilet flush. It goes straight down and in. Okay, so that just goes into there. The toilet is just pressurising because I drained it because of the hot water. So when you've not used this for a while, you've got off to the left hand side is cold water, and then you go down and up the other side, or you've got hot water. So I think I'm going to turn it on around, but you've got cold and you've got hot. Just be aware that when you've not used this in the winter and you've drained everything down, you're going to have to let all the air come out of this. So if you've ever caravanned or anything before, you'll know all about this. This is also extending, so this comes out and can clip up high, and you've got your clips up here for your shower piece. You've also got the floor cover down on here, so if you lift the floor cover out, then your door will also come out and opens and comes across and forms a shower cubicle. So I think that's it, and there's your bathroom light is just in here if the lights are on. And you've got a little cubby hole as well. Okie dokie. So carrying on down the rest of the van here, you've got your rear area. These cupboards are just empty, so there's just lots of cupboard space. To open this is you push this in here, that comes down, and it can lift up and it can vent at whatever angle you want it at. When you're driving, these should always be down. We see them open all the time, but all it takes is a big gust of wind to come along and it will take these off. So just always, best practice is to close them down, and you've got blackout screens and you've got fly screens coming across on the roof vents in this one in here. Under the seats, under here, you've got lots of storage. That's easy peasy. Just storage this side, storage the other. And to make this bed in here, this lifts up the handle, this comes forward, and it just literally slides out. And then you've got cushions here. These slide down, and it makes a giant king size bed. You can also, if you need to, you lift off these big corner cushions here, and you've got the whole width to make single beds as well. You've got more sockets around the corner in here, and in here you've got a table as well. There are some spare foot mats, we've left those for you because that is actually useful for the van. This table here, this actually blew around the edge and the cover on the top looks dirty. It's actually the original wrapping, it's never been taken off. So I've left it on, but if I were you, I would take that off, peel it off, and then you've got a brand new table to use, which is a freestanding table that can be used in the rear lounge, or you can take it outside with some camping chairs. You've got a solar charge controller at the top up there, and a max view aerial there. You shouldn't need to touch these things, they should just work in the background, and it's all just there ready to use. You've got drawer space in here, there's a cutlery drawer in here, there's lots of, these are the screw covers. If you find a screw cover, these tend to fall off very easily, but if you find any you want to cover over because they're annoying you, you've got plenty of spares in here to pop them back on. And again, you've got a drawer in here. All I would say is they are on the bases, is just don't overload these drawers too much, because you can pop the bottoms out quite easily sometimes. You have got a spare socket under here as well, and then in here you've just got your cupboards as well, so you've got plenty of space in there. When you're opening these windows, just so you're aware, you have to push the little button in. I don't know if you can see this. See, there's a little button on here. You push the button in, and then you can turn the window to release it. Push the button in, turn the button, and then you can release it. If you don't do that, the windows are locked, so then they can just open, and then you can just close them as you want to, and they can just go back together. To use your sink in here, that's fine. So we've got the hot water and we've got the cold water coming through. So under the hob on here, we push down and hold. If you haven't used these for a while, it can take a little while for the gas to draw through sometimes. Just persevere, keep them coming through, and see how I'm holding them down for a little bit once they've lit, just to make sure the thermocouple's lit and holding and secure. Okay, so that's all 3 of your gas rings on there, and obviously make sure you do turn them all off properly just before you close the lid down, else you can shatter the glass. You've also got a hob and an oven in here, so again, I should be able to try doing this one-handed. It takes a little while just to go through, but there you are. Oh. That's your gas hob, and you can turn it up on the oven and then leave that, and it stays lit. And if I turn that off and just try and do it the other way onto the grill, and the grill lights straight away. There we go. So there's the grill on that side as well. Okay, so that's how to turn the oven on and off, and I'm just going to put that back to the centre. Just one thing I'll point out in here, because people have a tendency to get this the wrong way around. If I slide this out, see how this sits on? That is a heat flame deflector that sits at the width of the oven burner at the back, and when you put these in, they should come in. So this little here, the grills, they go in and they slide in over the top, and then this goes over the top to there, and then you can kind of pull this in and out, and then you push it back. But that there stops you putting baking trays and things too far back over and then burning everything at the back of the oven, so it all does sit slightly further forward. I haven't seen a grill pan for this van at all anywhere, so you might want to purchase one that's designed for it, or just use a general gas grill thing. Under here you have got some RTD breakers, so in here, so just like you have on your campsite trips, you've got your gas your breakers sitting on the side in here. And then you've got your gas isolation valves, so if you feel that an appliance is leaking, you can individually isolate a particular appliance, but otherwise just leave them on. And again, if you want to turn the gas on or off, always just turn it on and off at the bottle outside. The fridge is getting, unfortunately, this was damaged whilst it was on display on the yard here, but if you want to, and we'll send you a new door panel down, but if you want to use the fridge, just push and hold this, it turns on. And then, so it will try and ignite it depending what it wants to do. So you can rotate through as well. If it's not used the gas for a while, it will try and it will ignite it. And sometimes if it's struggling to light on gas, the trick is always to get the gas burner going on the top. And then that allows it to burn up through in between underneath. Okay, so we've got the gas now on here, and we can come down on the sides. And if I press and hold this, I can now set it to, I can adjust whichever I want. So I want the temperature, I can turn it down to 3. And if I push and hold again in here to select it, and it's back onto gas, and I want to push it and hold it. So I want this flame to light, and now I'm going to use this arrow to use it on the engine battery when I'm driving, on the mains hookup, or normally I'll just leave it set on auto, to be honest. And then if you leave it on auto, then it will try, that's the best one to have it on, and I will just push this and hold it, and that should set it and select it, I think. If I press and hold again, just to learn how to use these fridges again, remind myself. And that's that. Oh, a quick, sorry, press it quickly. So if it's on A for auto, then what it does, it will try, as it preference, it will always try and take mains power. If it can't get mains power, it will look for the gas engine battery when you're driving, and if you're not driving, then it will try and switch itself to gas. Okay, if you park up somewhere for the day, you've stopped for a few hours for a picnic lunch somewhere, then you can come down and change this manually if you want to override it. But like I say, it should, if it's set on A for auto, and just push this lightly, you can see it once, you can see what comes on there, then you can see that you've got it's auto, and it's picked up that we're hooked into mains power, and it will use that. Okay, to use the fridge, open the fridge, just use the lever on this side here, lift it open and open it out, and then you have actually got on here, there is a little catch on here. See, this little lever comes out, it goes in, and if you just pop that underneath there, then that goes up and hooks in. Just can't do it one-handed, but this basically goes into the little slot, and that now locks that door in an open position, so it's vented, so that if you're not using the fridge, it just stops it going mildewy and mouldy. So we will pop that down there, that just pops down, it goes back in and slots back in, and then your fridge can lock securely when you're travelling. And to turn the fridge off, it's on just now, to turn it off, just press and hold the power button and it will all go off. Okay, so that's how to use your fridge. And finally, coming up here, you've got an extension table on here, which is nice and easy. That just comes up and clips up, and you can press the buttons and then it releases it down. And finally at the top with the control panel. Okay, so to use your control panel here, press home just to activate it, push to unlock the screen. Resources, so here we've got switches here, so we can turn on interior lights. So there, I've turned those on now, that's all the lights coming on here, and that's where I think earlier on the bathroom light wasn't coming on, but if I turn this on now, so you've got lights coming on, so it's all in there. So you've got lights, you've got an outdoor light as well, pushing that one on there, interior light, and then the water pump you can turn on and off here as well. You can also press the back arrow and it goes backwards, and then you can press for warm water. Onto your boiler here, you can turn your hot water boiler on, and you can choose your energy source and where you want it to be. So normally 40 would be plenty, and have it on electric, that's correct. And if we want to turn it off, then just press it on the top corner up there. You can then, at the bottom here, you rotate along, slide along the bottom to get across. There's an iNet app, so you can download an app and control the heating and hot water from your phone, and the room climate as well here to turn the heating on. It's turned off just now. We can put it on heating. We can set what we want the temperature to be. And then again, energy source, whether you want it fast or comfort, you can choose your energy source, whether you want the gas or you want it on electric, and whether you want low power electric or high power electric. Now, normally you're going to go for high power electric on a campsite, or if you're at home, just getting things ready. But if you're on a campsite, you will obviously need to use the gas system. And then you press the back button there to go through. Okay, now this is all documented in your in the handbooks and things for the van, so this is very useful, and there's lots and lots and lots of information online and videos too. And just so you're aware, this little icon in the top corner here is the plug icon. One switch off, that's fine. The little plug icon here, so is when you want to know that you're definitely plugged in and your 240 volt power is working, you should have that plug icon. If that's not on, it's not recognizing power. Okay, and then to turn this off, just press and hold here, and you can also turn off the panel there, and we can shut down, or you can turn off the devices. I'm going to leave it on for now because I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. Okay, right, I think in summary, that's a handover for your van. If there's anything I've forgotten about, please just give us a call. We're here to help. There's lots of information on these vans online as well, loads of useful advice and information too. But yeah, so hopefully this is helpful for you to remember some of the key features. Thank you.